If you have any questions and you're a bit shy, come up to me and whisper them in my ear and I'll ask them. And Alejandro may whisper it into your ear the answer. Okay, so what I might start off the evening with is I would like to know why everyone went vegan in the first place. Lee, you can start, please. Oh, is it? Yeah, pass it,
I think for me, the answer is bullying. Ever since I was a child, I've been anti-bullying. And one of the reasons I got into ethical investment in the first place is because I see corporate bullying, the idea that you use a business to exploit someone for profit when you can make as much by not exploiting people. And so veganism is, to me, is just an extension of that sort of resistance to unfairness and bullying. And factory farming is really rather a bullying process.
Brad?
I already answered that question.
Okay. Billy, I don't think you did. Alejandro, you did too, so maybe just Billy.
I think you are what you eat, and I also believe in karma. So I think that if we go on to the next life or the next dimension, we probably will answer to the things that we've done in this lifetime.
It's a lovely, short and sweet answer, Billy. I like that. Does anyone in the audience have any questions? Okay, keep your minds thinking about that. I might ask everyone, we all get asked about it all the time, so what's your favourite plant-based protein, Alejandro?
You mean as whole food?
Yeah, whatever you like.
Lentils.
Lentils?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good one. I like tempeh, especially Indonesian tempeh.
Again, I have to say prawn.
You should have a product for product placement, Billy. What happened?
I get high on my own supply.
Right, we're getting down the unhealthy end of the table now, but I'm a stickler for the Gardein products.
I think lentils, but there's a special variety of lentils. No, the one Sue cooks for me.
Sue is a very good
Brownie point.
So that leads me, Billy, I'd like to ask you, and some other people would like to know, why is plant-based protein better than a non-vegan protein, especially for building muscle?
Okay, well, just take a step further beyond that though, obviously it doesn't involve cruelty and suffering to other animals, so that's probably the best reason, and that's close to my heart. But for people's health, plant protein has what would be known as a better pH rating for the body. So animal protein is acidic, and over time, degenerative diseases, they've tried to look at what are the common causes between cancers and heart disease, and there's two correlating facts. One is high acidity and the other is inflammation. So having plant proteins and just plant-based foods in general actually decreases your risk of becoming acidic over time. So plant foods are alkaline, plant proteins are alkaline, which means your body doesn't have to leach minerals. It gets rid of waste products out of your body and keeps your blood at an optimal rate, because your body will fight to keep your blood at the level it needs to, but it's at what cost? So yes, you can consume animal products, but there is a point where that comes back to bite you.
And just on promoting Prana on your great brand, you said you've got a voucher number for attendees to get some discount.
Yeah, okay, right. So I didn't have samples tonight, but if you go onto the website and you purchase like a trial pack or anything, I'll create a code. It can be, what's the code?
Cruelty-free super.
Okay, so one word, cruelty-free super, and you guys will get a discount. So that's something I can do.
Good, thanks, Billy.
I better write that down.
I'll text you.
Okay,
And then you've got brochures out the front too when you go. There's also brochures for farm animal rescue. There's also brochures for cruelty-free super. So make sure you take a brochure before you go. And what about some menu? If we go to a main restaurant, tell me some great vegan foods that I could try there, Leandra.
What we have on the menu at the moment,
Yeah.
let's say. We just changed the menu today, some of the menu items. So from buckwheat, quinoa, amaranth, which I just added on the menu. Lentils, seeds.
What about a food, like someone could buy one, like your favourite item
dish.
on the menu? A dish, yeah.
A dish, okay. I would say probably one of my favorite dishes at the moment on the restaurant is the plum with the cardamom ice cream, all vegan.
Yep, I'll have some of that. And we've got a question at the back.
That kind of ties in with a few, I guess, backgrounds there. I've got a dog, and I'm sort of interested in the fact that there's high protein human foods for bodybuilding. Interested in the fact that with cooking you're substituting meat ingredients for more plant ingredients, and interested also that you're rescuing animals from animal farms, but I know in agriculture and aquaculture they use a lot of animal proteins as an input into the feed. I was wondering whether anyone knew or anyone was thinking about animal feeds and protein.
Companion animal feeds.
Yeah, or whether it's something that people are thinking about in general as part of what they're doing.
Do you know of the vegan dog and cat foods that are available? Have you heard?
Also, I'm thinking about like, do any of you have pets? And if you do, have you considered also like animal rescues? What do you, as to make sure that's part of the whole process you're selecting the foods, and are you thinking of expanding from human protein to animal protein as well as a substitute in range?
So, like for Brad, for example, from his farm, would you like to know what he feeds the animals? Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about farm animals is we don't really have to get into much of a dilemma with it. The hens primarily eat grain-based products. A lot of the grains are very high in protein. We have some pellets actually give them very high in protein and calcium to help with their laying. We do actually feed their eggs back to them because that's the fastest way for us to replace the nutrients that they've lost. The pigs all of our pigs are vegan. Pigs are technically omnivores, but they're vegan at the sanctuary. So they basically eat very much like us. They have cereal 3 times a day and fruit or veg. The cows, the goats and the sheep, of course, they're a little bit dull. They have grass. We do actually, however, have 3 dogs living on the sanctuary. And they all do very well on BioPet is the product that we use. And we give them the V-Dog treats largely, and you might have seen the synthetic ears as well. So they all enjoy those. And actually the dog that I was talking about in my talk was very, very sick until we put him onto the vegan diet when he arrived to us, and he got much better and lived longer than they expected. So,
And can I just finish that one first? There's a great person called Andrew Knight who's originally from Australia, but he lives in the UK, and he's written some really extensive work and has done a lot of research. He's a vet himself on dogs and cat nutrition on a vegan diet. So if you'd like more information about that, I suggest you have a look at that. And there are a lot of vegan pet foods that you can buy now, and you also can make a lot your own yourself as well. What was your question?
Just with the farm animal sector, I noticed in one of the photos when you feed the baby calf the milk. How do you source that?
we see, yes, this is what we assume is that they're drinking milk. The bizarre thing about the dairy industry is that what the dairy industry does is it impregnates a cow so that they can produce milk. They then, of course, take the calf away. That milk then goes through a process before it reaches the grocery store, which means that the product on the grocery store shelves is actually no longer suitable to feed to a calf. So if we bought milk from a grocery store and fed it to the calf, in fact that calf would die because it doesn't have anything in it. So what we feed the calves and what industry feed the calves is actually a soy-based formula. It does have a little bit of casein in it, and of course these are calves, they need that casein. So there is some animal product in it, but it is actually soy milk.
So it's actually what the industry already feeds the baby cows.
That's exactly what industry feeds, yeah, because the industry doesn't want to feed them cow's milk, because the whole point is they want to steal the cow's milk. Yeah, crazy world. Yeah, this is actually something that we use on the tour all the time, because it's insane.
I have a question on a completely different vein. I'm a lawyer. I do a lot of wealth planning, legal life planning for people. With your super fund, do you offer any self-managed super products, or are you looking to venture into people that want to have an ethical self-managed super fund?
Yes, we do. We just keep forgetting to tell people about it. We have the ability for people to buy a cruelty-free model portfolio, basically. So you can run your own self-managed.
You're a self-managed.
Yeah. So the administrators for cruelty-free super, they can provide a self-managed, or if you've already got your own, what you can do is subscribe to their investment model, which has already been passed through the full cruelty-free screen. And then that's up to the individual as to when and what they buy from that list. They can subscribe to that.
And that links back to whichever bank account you set up your self-managed fund through?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can have your own, in which case then you're just basically buying that sort of intellectual capital of everything that's been through a process, and then you are then deciding when and what to buy. Or Growth and Period will actually run the super self-managed for you. So it depends on how self-managed you want the self-managed to be.
I'm a lawyer, I want it pretty self-managed.
Self-managed, yeah. So then you would just basically buy that information to say, yeah, I'll decide when and what, but I don't have the time or the capacity to check every single share.
And make sure that it's
just looking through Australia. Because as a tangent, I had someone once say to me, I only buy eco stocks, they said, so wind, solar, water companies.
Sure.
And I said, you'd be surprised that something like 55-60% of the companies that our research company look at that are full eco-green companies are actually testing on animals. Because if they sell their products in China or the US, especially anything that is ultimately going to be used, it's got oils, chemicals, additives in it, or anything else like that, it'll be tested on animals. And so therefore the eco company is not necessarily very ethical.
It's not very
ethical in principle, and maybe that they don't run around in board meetings saying, let's do some more testing, but their products have to get to market. And unfortunately, there are two of the biggest markets in the world insist that things are tested every 5 years in the US, and often most imports into China.
Yeah, well, China, you have to test everything. Any makeup brand, for example, I know a lot of people are boycotting if they're selling to China now because they have to test to sell there.
So, and that's for me.
That's meant to be changing.
Yeah, from an ethical perspective, I would say let's see branch out into prana makeup. Okay. The stuff that you've got in your. Okay.
You know you look lovely with the eyeliner.
So here's an ethical question. In order for you to make more money, would you sell your cruelty-free makeup to China, knowing that the import process has to be tested? Would you say it's not a market I'm going into?
Yeah, we would go.
Yeah.
And most people are doing that,
Yeah.
Look,
Sorry,
Lee, on that,
sorry.
Lee, on that issue, you're talking about that ethical bank. Could you please let everyone know about the ethical bank in Australia?
I think if we totted up the donations tonight.
No, not yet.
No, well, when we do.
I'll post it online.
If it's enough. There's a threshold. If the
What do
the
you
information.
think it should be? $500?
Yeah. Bank Australia. Used to call Bank MECU, but I noticed there's a branch on George Street, so we've been I've got people at Bank Australia in and they spend quite a lot of time with Animals Australia working on what the policy should be. And hopefully I'll get in to see the bank next week.
You had a question before?
Yeah, I've got questions for Lee as well. I'm really interested in the whole super fund thing, and I want to make a change in my own super fund. I'm just sort of wondering how big cruelty-free super is, what its returns are like, and what are some of the example companies that it does invest in, because there's so many that they can't.
I think there were 3 questions and I forgot the first one.
The first one was...
How big is it?
Yeah, what's the returns?
The fund, touch wood, will hit 20 million by the end of the financial year.
That's sterling or pounds? That's sterling or pounds?
No, the funny money, dollars. So that was that one, and I completely forgot the other
And
one.
online about all where it's invested in.
Which companies?
Yeah, companies. We have IT companies, really bad memory. IT, insurance, we have a couple of the banks, ANZ and NAB. And I could run an evening on the ethics of banks, and actually I'll be putting a paper on the ethics of banks up on our website in the next couple of weeks. And returns. Just in case somebody asked that question, bear with.
There's a lot of information on the crueltyfreesuper.com.au website as well.
Your eyes.
No one can see that.
No, I meant a reflection in his eyes. Okay, right. From the 1st of July, beginning of this current financial year, to the 8th of February, when the last meeting was done, Cruelty Free Super was up 0.8, the ASX was down 8%, and the average growth fund was down 0.76. So we were up a staggering 0.8. But actually a lot of that was to do with the mainstream funds holding the oil and extractive companies. Now the oil and extractive companies for us fail on human rights, environment and animal welfare, so they're just like the perfect storm of nastiness.
So does that mean I do want to move my money ethically, but does it mean I'm going to lose a lot of money if I do?
No, you'd lose more if you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the ASX, the top 200 companies, lost 8.8% over the same time. We went up 0.8. It was a bad market, but it was worse if you were normal. Or mainstream. Not that we're not normal, we're just especially nice and normal. And an average fund was down just nearly 1%. So even a non-ethical mainstream fund trying to manage out the worst of the oil and gas mining sector still managed to lose money, and about 2% difference. And that 2% difference is over 7 months.
Lee, that brings me to a question we've had from the audience about, can you talk about the screening process and the underlying investment philosophy of cruelty-free super? And then we'll go to another type of question.
The investment philosophy is very simple, which is make as much money as possible. But within that, you obviously have to operate within the ethical screen. And so, because the fund is not large enough yet to go into the 45-50% of stocks that we would consider to be the eco-green, renewable stocks, that sort of thing. Most of what's in the fund goes through the ethical process and are what I've termed ethically neutral. So that means none of the companies are doing anything nasty, but they're not necessarily doing anything good. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, all my money's been ethical since I started 27 years ago. So to me, there are 3 versions of ethics. There's the nasty ethics, the stuff you don't want. There's the ethically neutral, which is nobody gets hurt by the company making money, but you couldn't really sort of leap up and down and get excited about it, other than the fact that it's making money by not exploiting anything. And then you've got the positive companies. Now, what I would love to do is invest cruelty-free money into vegan businesses. But there aren't any vegan businesses that we can invest in, because going back to what I said in the talk about shareholders, the vegan businesses are owned by the owners. You're not quoted on the stock market.
Right.
Not yet. There may be some companies coming up soon. The first purchaser of stock. So where we would like to invest, for example, Jess's cruelty-free shop.
That's in Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah. Jess would have to basically hand over her business by selling shares on the stock market. And therefore, it would be owned by the market. Now, the one thing about that is it would allow someone like me to put money into the business, but it would also allow anyone else to put money into the business and look at it and say, if we took control of that business and we shaved off a bit of this vegan thing and we incorporated a bit of that and we decided to open up in China, we'd make this business a lot more profitable and the shareholders could take control. So I don't think it's somewhere that Jess would feel comfortable going in. I think a lot of the other business owners that have values at their core, it's something that they're going to have to wrestle with, because once the market is able to buy and sell shares collectively, the market can dictate what the company does. And the market are the super funds and all the other investment institutions. Did I answer the question? Did I go somewhere else again?
Was that an okay question, Steve? Not thinking about the other questions that are coming up? Okay.
That will do. Have a hot one.
He's got a lot more, don't worry. I just wanted a question for all the panel to answer next, and I'd like Brad to start. And I'd like to know 2 top qualities. So if someone wants to go into either an animal sanctuary, a plant-based business, or be a vegan chef, I'd like to know 2 qualities that you think are essential for people to run an organisation like yours.
The first one's easy, no social life. And the second one is you have to like people, and you have to be able to ask people for help, or you'll suffer in despair.
Did you find that hard to do in the beginning? Asking
What, like people?
No, asking. I already know that answer.
You know you don't like kids. That's okay.
Asking people for help, that's a hard one for people in general, like vegan businesses and animal sanctuaries.
Yeah, well, it is, because we all do it occasionally, but you know, it becomes something you're doing all the time. You're asking for money, or you're asking for volunteers, you're asking people's time. So yes, it is. It never really becomes easy, I guess, but you get better at doing it from the point of actually it's really not for you. It's because of the vision that you've established and because of what you're trying to achieve, and that's why they're giving, and that's why they're volunteering.
Yeah. And when I was talking to Carol's down the back, she's one of the core volunteers at Farm Animal Rescue, and she said a quote, I'm paraphrasing, but people are volunteering and giving their time to create Brad's vision. So that's a lot of people are being involved in something like this because of what Brad had in his head and because of what he has actually achieved. Billy, could you talk about the top qualities you think would be good for someone who wants to have a vegan business?
Well, it's definitely possible now. It's definitely a viable opportunity. The future is vegan, so we're more and more shifting towards that slowly. I think being the best example that you can be if you're going to choose to live vegan is just make it such a compelling case that people want to know what you're doing and be a part of what you're providing. A business is really an extension of your personality, so if you can really define what you love in life and then pursue that by offering service to others through business, then you'll never work a day in your life. Leigh loves talking about finance. Brad loves animals and has got a relationship with these beautiful animals. And Alejandro loves cooking. So we're just doing what we love, just in a way that it allows us to have a platform to spread a great message. And if you live and breathe what your truth, then people naturally gravitate towards you and want to be a part of that.
Katrina Fox has written a book called Vegan Ventures, and it's about vegan businesses and how vegan businesses have been successful. Leigh's been interviewed. I speak about social media, and there are quite a few other people from all over the world who've been interviewed. And if you're into vegan businesses, I suggest you have a read of that. It's a really great book. And one of the things she says is having a vegan business, in particular a sustainable vegan business, is a really great tool for activism. Alejandro, what about, can be for a restaurant or just someone who wants to be a chef? What are the two qualities you think are important?
I think passion is number one. It's like a dog when you throw a ball and the dog only see the ball. It doesn't matter what, you just get the ball. And I think if you are committed and focused, you will get the ball. I think I'm still not lined up with my values at the moment. I'm still working in a restaurant that is not serving vegan food only. I would like one day, at one point. But with this new business I'm opening, I feel like, as you say, it's an extension of you. When you're doing something that you are so committed and so passionate about, it's part of you. So your business will have your personality, will have your ethos.
Yeah, that's a good answer, and I think you keep saying you're on the path of what you want, but you've got the aim there, Alejandro, and you've been working on it ever since I've known you. So, and how many people here work in a 100% vegan place? The majority of people never do, and probably never will. And don't be so hard on yourselves, because the money that you can create from your job, you can put to good use. You can invest in a good way. You can put your super in a good place, and you can start making these small changes to doing what you want to do, which you're on the way. Leigh, what about you? What are your two qualities you think for to run an organisation like Cruelty Free Super, or even a money financial superannuation company in Australia?
I won't say stupidity. Tenacity. Never giving up.
Good word.
That encompasses the passion, the belief, and everything else like that. But also self-questioning. That just because you love it and you believe it's a good idea doesn't necessarily mean that anyone else will ever think that. Yeah. So you could be the best vegan chef in the world, but if you're the only vegan on the planet, what's the point of having a restaurant?
Yeah.
So you have to have the market there, so you could be committed to opening the world's first vegan restaurant for yourself. It's not a good business model.
That's a good sort of segue into another question I wanted to ask. What do you think about marketing for everyone? What you're trying to market, whether it's your restaurant, whether it's the animals, whether it's cruelty-free super or plant-based protein, how important do you think it is to market to the mainstream instead of just preaching to the converted, as in vegans?
I think it's absolutely critical, which is why we don't do it. Because on the contrary,
No comment.
yes. Everyone likes to believe they're a special case, and I've been called that. But I think what I've done with trying to do with cruelty-free super is take a subject that most people are not really interested in, don't want to discuss, and target one specific area of the community. So it would have been a much harder job to launch cruelty-free super because of what it is into the mainstream, because I would spend most of my time talking about veganism and what cruelty-free issues were about. And actually what I want to do is take the people that are already lead the lifestyle and educate them about money. So I've sort of gone around it another way, but my ideal would be that the cruelty-free investment process is itself the mainstream option. But for the time being, we are going to target and try and educate the people that are already there and introduce them about money. People don't need to be educated about food. a lot of people need to be educated about exercise and protein. And when somebody told me to bulk up, I thought I'd succeeded, and I looked at you and thought, I got it wrong.
We're all about mainstream, of course, because our message is to people who are not vegan and to people who are considering becoming vegan. So we're all about getting out there to the mainstream, and we've actually noticed over the years that we've been running, because we've been more successful at penetration, but whereas we started with the same vegans at every open day, week after week after week, we're now about 90 to 95% non-vegan, which is amazing.
So we wear the vegan badge proudly in our company, and I think more and more people in the mainstream are getting touched by different aspects of going vegan, whether it's environmental, ethical or health issues. So by wearing that badge, we can become a go-to place for that. So I think we all play a part in spreading the message, and for us, if we stand by that and we're true to that, then you know, I suppose the other thing we do is we make vegan cool. So we make it so good that vegan is one of our attributes, but we have strong branding, we have great recognition, and we've just made it so it's not now detracting or it's not unappealing. Actually, it's what people want, and everyone wants to make better choices, whether or not they're vegan. So if they feel like they're making a better choice that happens to be vegan, they feel like they're making a positive step in their lives as well. So we make it so good, and we wear it proudly, that they're happy to have it, vote with their dollars to be a part of it.
It was about how important it is to market to non-vegans, to the mainstream.
As I said before, when we do the vegan dinners, which we normally do one every, let's say, 2 or 3 months, and every time I do a dinner outside the restaurant, probably 90% are not vegans. And even in the restaurant every day we get in rain, probably, I don't know, 20 to 30% people choosing the vegan menu, but that doesn't mean that it's 20 or 30% of customers vegan. So yeah, it definitely helps to, people want to try, people want to know, okay, what would you put on a plate if it's not meat?
Well, this actually brings me to a question I wanted to ask you. You were saying before you've learned how to cook animal products quite well, and most chefs get taught that all the time. So, and you know, vegetables are a garnish. Can you give any tips of how people could learn to cook veggies better, or?
I think the more you do it, probably some people here cook better vegan food than me, because I'm trying to, okay, but I remember
but
when
Sarah's a good baker, and Sue's a very good cook as well.
When I first got here to Australia and I went vegan, I lentils and rice, and I was like,
so many people live on that. So many cultures live on that.
And I feel so sorry, and I really, I get my heart off for vegans who don't know how to cook. Because I'm like, my God, if I suffer, I became a chef because I love eating. I'm skinny, but I love eating. But yeah, I eat for joy. No? And that's something I don't want to stop doing. Like every meal is the opportunity for you to have a smile. Every meal you have, but if that causes someone else not having a smile, or someone dying, obviously I don't want that. But I still think, cooking is love. When you cook for someone else and you make it the best that you can. You are sharing part of your. There is nothing when someone for you and you probably didn't like it, or it's so offensive, no? And that's so. If you do any other thing, probably people won't get offended. If you do, I don't know, something. But cooking is so personal. Cooking is so something that comes from your heart, no? So when you do it well and someone tastes it and is happy about it. That's why I'm becoming a chef, basically.
So what's your favourite food you make, and what's your favourite food when you eat out?
that I make, probably soups. I love soups. And I love, to be honest, I think the perfect food is fruits. But I know some people live on fruits, I cannot live on fruits. I love fruits, but I try one day just eat fruit and I
So many other things.
Yeah. No, I go hungry, and still, I eat a lot of fruits, but still, no, I need hot food.
What about when you eat out?
When I eat out, I don't normally go out much because I get disappointed. And when I do go out and eat, I normally call the chef before, probably a week earlier, and I say I will go with my wife, and they do really well.
Pressure.
I said, look, I'm coming with my wife for whatever, for an anniversary or for whatever, and I get
good service.
Yeah, very good service. So it's good to know people.
Billy, what about you? What's your favourite food you cook, and what about when you eat out?
So the best foods for me, the best combination, I'll give you guys this, is a bean, a seed and a green. So any combination of those. So if I'm having like at home some chickpeas with hemp seeds and some greens or something. So I'm pretty simple when it comes to at home. If I'm eating out, for some reason, all I eat is burritos.
Zambrero is amazing. Has everyone tried Zambrero? They make this amazing black rice with amaranth, mixed with spirulina, free guacamole, so good. What about you, Brad?
Well, probably the best thing I make is a golden cheesy bake, which is made primarily out of nutritional yeast and potatoes. You can throw some broccoli and stuff in it. There's, if you type in golden cheesy bake on the internet, you can actually get the recipe. It's not mine, but it's really good. In terms of was eating out, yeah, I'm going to go with Mexican. Yeah, can't be it.
What about you, Lynn? And not just Sue's dishes.
Yeah, but that said, actually, it's one thing coming here to Australia is Vietnamese. Yeah. There's not a lot of Vietnamese restaurants in China. But coming here, it's just, so I thought Thai was good at home, and then I came here, so especially Melbourne, Vietnamese restaurants.
Yong Greens is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. So I absolutely love that.
What about at home, or what Sue cooks?
Whatever I put in front of me, free. I plan a long life.
While you've got Mike, Lee, we spoke about ethics involved creating, sustaining vegan businesses and that. Would anyone here know about some of the vegan businesses who use cruelty-free super as a default? Is there anyone you can name or?
Bad from memory. Animals Australia, Vegan Perfection, Cruelty-Free Shop, Codelicious. I ran out of steam now. There's more.
That's quite a few. We've got some videos on our Cruelty-Free Super YouTube channel, and we've interviewed a few people from there as well. Did anyone have any questions they'd like to ask? Yes.
Alejandro, I just wanted to ask if you are now buying less meat or less animal products since you've introduced vegan dishes.
Definitely, yeah. Meat, probably the same. The reason is I need to have a steak on the menu, and that's not gonna change in this restaurant. And the quantity, is still the same. At one point, I tried to reduce the weight, and I've been told it's looking too small, put it back in. And I was replacing it with, let's say, more potatoes or with, I don't know, grains, but no. But I tried, for example, on the tasting menu to incorporate more, have at least 40% vegan on the normal menu. So when I do, because I do two menus, a vegan and a normal menu, so 40% at least is the same. So we don't have to double up on, we don't have to have two completely different menus. So at least 40% is vegan already. And then the rest, we still have a piece of meat, a piece of fish, or a yabi. Today, one of the guys in the kitchen asked me, why do you put the yabis in ice and water? I said, because if they are on the box and they are still alive and you boil them in cold water, they will go like this and they are suffering. If you put them in ice and water, it's to calm them and you still kill them, but it's not as harsh. And this guy looked at me and you really care about it. It's a small thing, but I know in the UK we used to, all the crabs and lobsters we used to electrocute. So they had but they suffer less, so it's better, yeah. So.
I wanted to ask.
I've got another question on the greedy, sorry. Billy, I just wanted to ask, I couldn't see on your product packaging anywhere that you actually use the word vegan. Is that right? And if so,
Yeah, it's definitely on the packaging.
on there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's one of the little icons. I think.
Yeah, we've got like a vegan, certified vegan.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Just right at the bottom on the front, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few little vegan, little icons at the bottom. Sure. So, did anyone else have any questions?
Another question, how difficult is it to recruit vegans when you try and grow a business?
For me, they've gravitated towards us. So we won't hire anyone that's not passionate about what we do. And if they're passionate about what we do, it's generally because they're bought into the culture of it. So already they're on their journey and they want to learn more and be part of that culture, or they're well and truly past it and they're passionate about it and they're saying, I want to be part of your team so I can preach this message because I just love what you guys do, and they're naturally already doing it anyway. They're out there promoting it, telling their friends about it on social media. So it's just an extension for them to come and work for us. Yeah. So.
And is there scientists or like food scientists, or do you have a?
We've got a whole team, food scientists and production managers, procurement, distribution. It's insane. And actually, if you've got a birthday at our business, you get a vegan cake. And so we had a few of the guys that one of the guys wasn't vegan that we bought the cake for. It was like a chocolate beetroot cake. And it was, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. This one was literally like vegetables and cake. It was super healthy. He didn't enjoy it, but we just stay true to that. So we just do what we can. Could we be better? Absolutely. Like wherever we can make the right choice, we choose to do it. And we'll just keep on doing that.
There was a question just behind. Yes.
Billy, where is the company based?
Burley Heads.
So close.
Yeah.
Brad, I want to ask, what happens if, do people come to you, or what would you say if they came to you and asked, I want to get a pet pig, or I want to get a rooster, or I want to get, I don't know, a cow? What do you say when people ask you those questions?
Yeah, there is 3 different answers based on that. I want to get a pet rooster, I'd say great, because we're asked to take over 20 roosters a week, because while the egg industry is quite happy to destroy roosters on the day that they're born, people who think it's okay to have backyard eggs don't seem to think it's okay to destroy their roosters on the first day, and they think that sanctions like us is protect them. So I'd say if you want a pet rooster, that's great. There's loads of unique homes. A pet pig is almost always a disaster. Pigs are very social animals. You need to have at least 3 or 4 living together for them to be happy. Just about everybody who gets a pet pig does exactly that. They get a pet pig. The pig is very unhappy. The pig is very aggressive. The pig is very bored. Spends lots of its time digging up everything everywhere. Again, we're asked to take 3 or 4 pet pigs every week as well for exactly that reason. So if you want to have a pig, you've got to have a pig farm. You've got to have a bunch of them. You've got to have really, really good fences. You've got to spend a lot on feed, and all that. Esther, the Wonder Pig, is probably different from that if you've seen her online, but she lives in the house with the guys and they're the truck. But other than that, we've had disasters trying to rehome pigs that have lived on their own with a family because they're their family, and they can't be taken away from it. And the other was cows. Yeah, cows again, great. Herd needs to be at least 4 to 6. Farm animals are very, very social animals. Friends are important, family is important. None of them do well on their own. So yeah, if you've got a couple of cows, then that's all well and good. Providing you have sufficient pasture for them, to at least 2 acres each. You understand that you're going to be spending $100 a month on parasite protection. And of course, then you've got all these other deal with is when a cow dies, exactly what you do with a half-ton animal that's died on your property. And the fact that they have to be looked after. You can't just go away for 3 weeks and think your cow's going to be okay, so they are committed.
Cool. So we're just running out of time, so I just wanted to ask one last question to the panel. What's a tip you wish someone had given you when you first went vegan? Maybe Leigh, you can start. Or something you could teach others, tip for others?
I think it's one thing I would like to pass on from experience rather than necessarily someone taught me, which is that to give people their own space. Don't be judgmental. Because you are where you are and you've taken your own journey. But there's a lot of people I meet who, having arrived at where they've arrived, assume everybody else has to arrive there that day as well, and then start pointing the finger and saying you're not moving fast enough. Well, it took you a long time to get there, so give everybody else the same space. Encourage. Don't be negative.
It's a good one.
My tip is Facebook is not real life. If you have a medical condition or if you don't know what you should do about something, please use Google or go to a doctor. Yeah, the answers you get on Facebook are not worth the time you spend reading it.
They're all valid, like really valid, absolutely. The people on their own journeys to that tolerance. But for me, it was that I'm not going to shrink. I'm not going to perform as well as what I was doing. So yeah, it's the fact I've probably done better.
In regards to what your bodybuilding you're talking about?
Yeah, when I was bodybuilding or powerlifting or martial arts or whatever.
I remember when I did the vegan dinner that first time that I convinced my partners to do a vegan dinner. I remember the only comment I got from the dinner that was negative was from a vegan person who told me, who called me to go into the table and asked me, do you guys wear leather shoes in the kitchen? And I said, yes, we do. Said, so what's the point? And I stopped talking to him after 2 minutes, go back to the kitchen. And then we have, once we did a pig dinner in the restaurant, and I got a strike on the front of the restaurant. And
protest.
A protest, yeah. And basically, I wasn't there that day, I was in Sydney. And my partner called me and he said, do you know these people? I said, obviously I don't. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing that. And lucky enough I knew someone who knew them and they gone. They gone away. So for me, I would say, don't be a vegan asshole. As he said first, yeah, because you became vegan or you find something, that, oh, look, this is the way it has to be done. It's not that everyone is going to wake up the same on the same day, so yeah, just be nice.
Exactly. And treat each other with respect, and yeah, every small steps still get to the same destination, and focus on the things that connect us rather than the things that we disagree with, because you're always going to disagree with certain things with people. And I hope you've all learned something tonight, and I encourage you to learn more, whether it's about the businesses and the groups we've talked about tonight, or whether it's just in general some things that you'd like to find out about. If you have any more questions, I know there was a few, maybe come and see people. We've only got about 10 more minutes here though, so maybe if you have specific questions for a specific person, it would be best to email them. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Because of you coming and gold coin donation, that's going to help a lot of animals who need help at Farm Animal Rescue, which you can visit, which you can volunteer at, you sponsor animals. And if you appreciate the time and effort everyone here on this panel has put into this and given you tonight, and we've all done this for free, if you'd like to give any more gratitude, please give that monetarily to Farm Animal Rescue. Make sure you have a look at crueltyfreesuper.com.au and all the other websites from here tonight, and I'll put the video online as well. So I'd really like people to promote the Sydney event actually on Saturday, so if you could all go home and share that online or tell your Sydney friends, it would be really great. Thank you. So thanks all for coming, and travel safely home.